So if you were waiting for the worm to turn, the worm has backflipped, done a dive.
Worm to turn?
Yeah, dude.
What is worm?
Have you never heard that
No.
term?
No.
No? Okay.
Kelly hasn't heard it either.
No,
Well,
but I'm in. I
all right.
like it.
Cool.
That took no time at all.
Kind of rhymes.
You know, when
There
I
you
say
go.
something stupid,
Yeah.
I don't hear the end of it for days. Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect. Each week we bring you the latest news and views from the shows you love. It's pop culture with an anime lens. We are joined today by author and entertainment writer Kelly Knox. Welcome to the show, Kelly.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Kelly's work is across sites like Star Wars, Star Trek,
Ooh.
DC Comics,
Ooh.
Marvel Comics,
Ooh.
IGN,
Wow.
and Crunchyroll News.
Oh.
You can find her books about all things Marvel and Star Wars wherever books are sold. And we're going to talk about her latest book, which, when we're recording this, I think it released today.
Today's
Is that
my
right?
book birthday. Yep.
Yay!
Book birthday.
Happy
I love it.
birthday. Called Star Wars Dad Jokes.
Listen, this book is phenomenal. We'll talk about the book more later, but it's phenomenal.
Yes, but before all that, we are going to talk about the latest anime news of the week. And for our main story, Kelly's going to help guide us through the world of cozy anime.
We do love a cozy anime.
I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
It's me, LeAlec Murray.
You can be a part of this.
Me?
Yeah.
I get to.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kelly Knox.
And we're going to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is.
It's kind of weird without the third voice.
I know. Leah could not join us this week.
Shout out to Leah.
Shout out to Leah, always. But we're here, and we're going to kick things off by talking about what movie we saw last week.
Everybody prepare to take multiple shots because we're going to mention Godzilla, kaijus, any kind of monsters for at least the next however long this goes.
Before we talk our ears off about Godzilla Kong the New Empire,
Yep.
Kelly, have you seen it?
I have not. I saw -1, but I have not seen the new Godzilla.
Okay. We're gonna keep we'll keep it as brief as we possibly can.
Okay. I don't
no
mind spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah.
We can't. We're not spoiling. This is not a
yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah,
cast.
I'm not.
spoiling.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil this for people because it's one of those like. I think you should go see it from the pure popcorn movie standpoint.
Yes.
Right. I forgot who wrote the interview initially or the review initially about this movie, and they said if this is where the director is taking us for the rest of the Monsterverse, because what's his name? Adam
Wingard.
Wingard, yeah. So the review was like, if this is where he's taking us for the rest of the Monsterverse for as long as it exists, then sign me up.
Yep.
And I totally agree with the sentiment because, like, I think he had some small involvement in the Apple TV show as well too, the Monsterverse show.
You know who else was involved in the TV show? Matt Fraction.
He was.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite comic book writers. It's absolutely
amazing.
phenomenal. But the dynamic of, and we've talked about this before, like -1, and somebody made a really good comparison, and I'm kind of upset we didn't think of this. But the Toho Godzilla films in Japan are still very much like he is a monster. He is a force of nature. Whereas the Legendary turned him into an action hero. And I'm like, that is perfect. I couldn't have explained it any better.
And I feel like it's so evident in this movie specifically.
Yes.
Like, the personality of both Kong and Godzilla in
Yeah.
this. Like, Godzilla is like an adorable cat that if you touch the cat anywhere but petting him on its head, freaks out. Just like,
right.
I'm gonna blast you.
Right.
So normal cat.
Right.
Yeah, so normal. Exactly.
Also, weirdly sounds like my dog, who I think has cat behaviors anyway.
But yeah, so we, me, Lee, and Leah saw the film just like a day or two early last week in IMAX.
Phenomenal. Definitely recommend seeing it.
It was
in IMAX
great,
as well.
and like the crowd, I think I hadn't had such a like emotive experience in a movie theater probably since like Endgame and Infinity War,
right?
Where like people are clapping and screaming, and you know, just when Godzilla pops up on screen, everyone's yelling. Like, it was a good experience.
I think also what I love about just Godzilla in general, especially like in the legendary verse, right? Because it happens with the Toho films as well too, because he's supposed to be like, you know, nature's supreme guardian. He's like, I just want to take a nap in my Coliseum.
Yes.
But y'all keep making noise. So I have to now get up. If I have to get up, things will get bad.
Yeah.
And that's what this movie was. It's like, if I have to get out of this Coliseum, you are not going to like my mood. And that's how it went.
I have to say, and then we'll move on. We'll get into the show.
Yeah.
The scene where Kong picks up baby Kong and starts beating on
other
giant apes with it. You may have seen that scene floating around.
Yeah.
It's... when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, like I'm strapped in. I'm ready to go."
Also, like for the wrestling fans out there too, like there's a lot of like nods to wrestling in here as well. There's at one point where there's a like Godzilla to Kong like suplex, and it's just so ridiculous.
The physics are just like whatever.
They're just like
whatever.
A giant lizard suplexing a monkey. What's up with this? Yeah, so it's definitely enjoyable. If you guys have seen it, please let us know what you thought about the movie. I'll talk Godzilla with everybody like all day long. Doesn't matter.
I feel like at some point we got to do like a special drop where it's just talking about Godzilla. This way we're not subjecting all of our audiences to us talking about it. And yeah, Kelly, let us know if you get a chance to see it.
Yeah, y'all are convincing me. I got to see this now.
Speaking of fun at the movie theater.
Nice
segue, buddy.
Next up, we got the news of the week, including a fan favorite anime making its theatrical debut.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty cozy, I think.
I think so. Counts as a cozy one, yeah.
All that's coming up. All right. This week's news. A lot. I feel like I say this every week. A lot happened in anime.
But a lot does happen.
All right. So our first story for this week, Spy Family Code White.
Yeah.
Movie is officially making its U.S. debut on April 19th.
I'm so excited.
Tickets are now on sale.
Need to go buy my tickets. I haven't done it yet.
We mentioned a while back that Spy Family was getting a movie, Code White. Crunchyroll's bringing it to theaters. You can finally buy tickets. If you're looking for details, Crunchyroll News. That's just the first of many Crunchyroll News plugs in this episode.
Right.
It'll be available subbed, English dubbed. And Lee, I know you already outed yourself as not having bought your tickets yet, but how about you, Kelly? Do you have your tickets yet?
Yeah, we already have ours. We're excited to see it. We love Spy Family. So, and we were in Japan over the holidays where it had come out, like it was just coming out in theaters.
Oh, nice.
We didn't get to see it, but we saw all the, the tie-ins and the posters, and they were blasting like the theme song over speakers on the street. So we are ready to see it.
The Mission Impossible like tie-in poster, like
I need society here to get to the point where we are blasting anime openings.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just out in the open. Yeah. I saw a clip for it yesterday because I was, binge watching YouTube videos as, one does. And the preview was like the one where Anya's like at the fair and she's trying to like shoot the targets. Yeah. She was like, I couldn't get them. They moved too fast. And Lloyd was like, they weren't moving. I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm going to see it.
I was actually going to bring up, like, we're going to talk about cozy anime here in a bit, but I wanted to, like, just quickly go around and just be like, what makes Spy Family so cozy? I mean, like, it's a show that, like, theoretically has, like, an assassin and a spy and there's blood and there's action, but, like, I feel like for me, it's Anya. Like, Anya pulls it together.
I agree. She's the, like, common link for, like, the entire family, like even Bond. They all coexist because she's like, my family has to exist by any means possible.
Yes.
And that's her motive. Like, while like Lloyd and Yor like have like, I'm on a mission from a government. I gotta like protect this, blah, 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 blah. She's like, no, I don't want to be an orphan again. So I'm going to keep my family together. And because of that, hijinks ensue. But it's great because it almost gives me that kind of like family, like sitcom, like feel, like, in the 90s watching like Family Matters.
I was like, let's get a good reference.
Yeah. Come on. Family Matters, or like watching like, hanging with Mr. Cooper or whatever. Like it gives me like that vibe of like, hey, you're actually just existing as this family exists.
And I love that Lloyd and Yor, they're like, they're spy and assassin, but like they have the sweetest motives too. Like Lloyd doesn't want any kids to be, sad. Like he was growing up and Yor's protecting her brother. So they both still have like the nicest, most wholesome motives, even though they're got the worst kind of jobs.
Right. Their jobs are absolutely horrible, but they have the best intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But we will be seated. We will go see that movie when it comes out. Yep. Solo Leveling, which just wrapped up season 1, and we can call it season 1 now because
officially
they announced season 2.
Go. I don't do it as good as Pat McAfee, but yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited for this.
I know Kelly's caught up on Solo Leveling because she writes the recap articles for Crunchyroll News every week.
Bless you. Bless you.
What did you think of this first season?
I liked it a lot. It was at the end of the season, this last episode, they kind of backtracked like how far Jinwoo had come since the beginning. And I was like, oh yeah, this guy really has done a lot in just the first season. I really enjoyed it. I wasn't familiar with the story or anything at all. So it was a nice surprise for the winter season.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what season is it? In Texas, it's like 65 degrees. I was like, that's not winter.
It'll be 30 tomorrow.
No, I've actually been catching up the last few days because I've really just been watching One Piece. Like that's what I mostly spend my time.
You know what? I've been catching up. Like I've read deeper into the manhwa than I did into like actually watching the show. But I watched up to I think like episode 4 or 5 whenever he was in that first like solo dungeon.
Yep.
And very rarely do you see the source material and the visual material kind of like almost stack 1-to-1.
Yeah.
And this show did a great job of stacking 1-to-1. So I am like super duper impressed to see how they're going to execute going forward.
Yeah, so the new season is officially called Solo Leveling Season 2, Arise from the Shadow, which if you've read the webtoon, that will mean a lot to you. No spoilers. There's no firm release date just yet, but we can say it will stream on Crunchyroll when it arrives. Anyway, go blast the OP because that's so good. That song rips. I wanted to make sure this news story got in here because this created a lot of discourse in the anime community last week.
I saw this.
The Oxford English Dictionary has officially added a number of additional Japanese words, including isekai, fan service, and tokusatsu.
Okay.
So a bit of a quiz for our listeners and viewers, but obviously if you recognize these words and you're like heck yeah, these should be in the dictionary, like drop a comment, let us know if you agree with it. The big one was isekai, right? That was the big one that the anime community was talking about. There was an article that came out from another publication that referenced shows like Friedman and Delicious in Dungeon as potentially fitting under isekai in this new... I can see by your face, we're on the same page. But, we'll just say it. So officially Webster's dictionary defines... Webster's dictionary defines isekai as a Japanese genre of science or fantasy fiction featuring a protagonist who is transported to or reincarnated in a different, strange, or unfamiliar world. Also an anime, manga, video game, etc. in this genre.
Right.
So to me, that aligns pretty closely to what I already thought isekai was.
Yeah. That lines up with what isekai is.
Yeah. And even the stretches come down to like time travel, right? Or fell into a wormhole and ended up in prehistoric times. Like Digimon, I would consider fitting into that category.
Yeah, for sure.
Friedman
is not
that. The story is told in 2 different time periods.
Right. But it's not an isekai.
It's not an isekai. It's the same world.
Same thing with Delicious in Dungeon. Like it is not an isekai. Like it is a fantasy story told from the view of playing like D&D. And that's kind of where I think it kind of gets I guess, the blurred lines because a lot of isekai is told in a fantasy setting.
Sure.
So I can see where that gets kind of skewed because a lot of isekai is done like, oh, hey, I'm in the modern world and oh my God, I'm suddenly like a slime in a fantasy setting. Like, no, just because it's a fantasy setting doesn't make it an isekai. Yeah. Like some fantasy stories are meant to be exactly that.
Kelly, what are your thoughts on the isekai discourse right now?
I definitely don't think those two are isekai, although I heard there's a rumor that maybe one of the characters in Friedman is from another world and like secretly, but I don't know. I don't know about that because I don't think they would play that.
That would
subtle.
greatly change my opinion of the show. Honestly.
Now I've got to read the manga.
Yeah.
Like now I've got to pick up where the anime left off and read the manga.
Now I have to go do my own research.
I was like, if that's true, now I feel bad because I guess, okay,
There's no
I don't
way.
feel bad because, but potentially if that is true, it's an isekai for them.
Right.
For that character.
Right.
It's not for everybody else, not for the greater whole.
You know.
I will say, I can't believe it took this long for fan service to get in the dictionary. I feel like that's been around forever.
Yeah, I feel like that's a term that's been around since like the early, like at least the mid 80s to like 90s when anime was like creeping. I thought fan service was always the thing.
Yeah, and that's a good segue. Webster's defines fan service as
Can we have a segment where you just say Webster says for
Webster's dictionary defines fan service as material added to a work of fiction for the perceived or actual purpose of appealing to the audience, used especially of material that is risque or sexual in nature.
Yeah, it tracks.
It's interesting because like to me, I like because reading comic books, fan service is
It's
kind
almost,
of have a different.
That's what I was going to say. It's
definition.
almost completely different.
It's
reading
like
comic books.
when you're reading a Guardians of the Galaxy run and Cosmo shows up.
Yep.
That's fan service.
Yeah, fan service in comic books is more so like kind of in the same thing as wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like playing to your audience. Like it's less like of the risque nature and more of the like, oh hey, like what's Batman doing in Bloodhaven? Like it's less of that.
Though to be fair, you bringing up Bloodhaven reminds me of like newer Nightwing runs where like he's just got his shirt off.
Yeah,
like that's also fan service.
That's also fan service. Yeah, God bless Tom Taylor, another one of my favorite comic book writers. Like he's leaned all the way into like, society at large thinks Dick Grayson is pretty hot. So we're just gonna lead all the way into this from the ab to the butt jokes. Like we're gonna do all of it.
Yep.
But yeah, so just a few other words that were added to the dictionary. Tokusatsu, which if you know Lee, you know Tokusatsu.
That's it. That's it.
Mangaka, okonomiyaki, and onigiri. Which 25 years after the infamous jelly donuts on the 4Kids Pokemon, onigiri has finally been added to Webster's dictionary.
Right. People, we can finally cross out jelly donuts and be like, it's actually onigiri.
Wrapping up our news segment for this week, as you know, the spring season is among us on Crunchyroll. I think shows kicked off this past weekend.
Yeah.
But,
some shows started on the 1st.
We've got a spring season update.
Ooh.
First up, Kaiju number 8 is going to be the first anime on Crunchyroll to stream simultaneously live with the Japanese broadcast. You will be able to watch Kaiju number 8 as it is airing in Japan on Crunchyroll with English subtitles.
Insane.
That's awesome.
Wild.
Insane.
And not just English subtitles. LatAm Spanish, Portuguese, German, and French subtitles.
Insane.
So that's going to start Saturday, April 13th at 7 a.m. Pacific. Those episodes will be streaming weekly.
Yep.
So you can watch them live like old school TV.
That's so cool.
Which is coming back.
Basically, it's back. We're fully here. That's really cool. I never thought we would, from an old school like anime perspective, I never thought we would get to a point to where we're sharing the same broadcast. Especially this title. It's almost very much like Arnold Schwarzenegger kicking the door open and being like, and then we're getting like full
you
like
take
broadcast
that again?
now. No. I yard what I yard. I'm not trying to blow out Pat's ears over here. So
I do love the shared experience of it all. It's like, our simulcasts are shortly after the Japanese broadcast anyway. And so this feels like a culmination of that experience, which is really cool. Kelly, I'm curious your perspective. I mean, obviously you write, a number of recaps for Crunchyroll, so you are watching the shows as they air, but you also talk a lot about like Star Wars and Marvel on your social and professionally. And, part of that is watching new episodes of Star Wars shows as they come out weekly. So I'm curious your perspective on this.
So for my early days of anime watching, and I'm totally going to age myself here, but we had to buy a VHS tape, mail it to a fan subber, wait for them to copy it and send it back, right? And you'd get 4 episodes. And that's how we watched, when I was in college, that's how we watched Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars.
Oh, so it was like... You were anime tape trading.
School.
Oh, man.
So, like, the fact that Kaiju number 8 is going to be at the same time, like, I almost can't physically process that because I was so
hard
used
to fathom.
Yeah. And then, you know, to see other anime, we had to go to the college anime club and watch screenings that they, and you could borrow tapes if you were lucky enough to get one. So, yeah, like, fast forwarding to where we are now, it's just, first of all, just the simulcasting and in general, I will always be amazed by. But for binging versus the weekly, I do like the weekly. The only thing I don't like is when the episode comes out at like 3 a.m. And so some people will like stay up and catch the latest, Mandalorian or whatever at 3 a.m. So by the time you wake up, it's like people have already seen it. I'm like, wait a minute.
People are already talking about it. Yeah.
I'm old. I need to sleep. Give me some time here.
Yeah.
So I know what you're thinking. You might be like, oh, Kaiju is the big news for this week. We're going into the main story. No. 2 more shows, spring season, Crunchyroll.
Okay.
Shows that are returning.
Okay.
That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, season 3. Okay, Rimuru is back. And his whole kingdom
The Slime Lord. The Slime Lord has returned. Thank you. Thank you, Slime Lord.
And it is an Isekai.
It is.
So everyone hit the Isekai button.
Isekai.
We have mentioned an Isekai. For those that don't know, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, it's about a man who, as you may guess, dies and is then reincarnated as a slime monster in another world.
But it definitely doesn't go how you would expect.
No, not at all.
He becomes an all-powerful being.
Watch the first episode and you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know. So season 3 actually kicked off with a recap episode on March 30th. And then the first episode of the actual new content will kick off on April 5th. So check that out.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
You know what's next?
What's next?
My Hero Academia season 7. Big My Hero fans in this room for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
It's going to kick off with Memories, which is a recap of the events of the series so far. There'll be a few episodes kind of just getting everyone up to speed.
It's been a little
I'm excited to get a refresher.
Because there's a lot that happens. Like, even like if you're reading the manga and you have to like, and Horikoshi Sensei makes a reference to something, I'm like, wait, where was that from? And you're like, wait. Yeah.
And then that's going to tee up season 7, which will officially kick off on May 4th, picking up where season 6 left off. And y'all, like, if you were big into My Hero and you maybe fell off because you're like, oh, there's so many seasons.
This is where you pick back up.
Get back on with season 6 at least. Because the events of that season really, like, that's some of the best the show's ever been.
Yeah. For people that have been waiting for, I guess, the turning point for My Hero, because My Hero happens in phases, and I don't want to like kind of spoil it for people that aren't reading.
Yeah.
But there's a very like happy-go-lucky, I'm happy to be here superhero story that quickly turns into like, oh, we're now dealing with some real mess.
Yeah.
Which will escalate after that. Yeah. So if you were waiting for the worm to turn, the worm has backflipped, done a dive.
Turn?
Yeah, dude.
What is worm?
Have you never heard that term?
No.
No? Okay.
Kelly hasn't heard it either.
No, but I'm in. I like it.
Cool.
That took no time at all.
Kind of rhymes.
When I say something stupid, I don't hear the end of it for days. My parents call me and they're like, hey, remember when you said that really stupid thing 6 weeks ago?
I think parents just do that. I think they're just randomly call you and be like, hey, do you remember the thing? No, I don't want to remember the thing that I did when I was 6. Like, what are you doing? I am a 30-plus-year-old man. Like, why?
I love that. I'm a 30-plus-year-old. Are you a My Hero fan, Kelly?
Yes. It's been a little while, though. And we watched it weekly, so it's probably been, I don't know how long since we've seen it. I should catch back up. But yeah, All Might's my guy.
Oh, yeah, okay. Up next, we get to talk about only the best of the best cozy anime out there. And there's a lot to choose from. But we have the cozy anime expert to help us out with that. Because, not sure if you know this.
I mean, I know this.
I mean, yeah.
I know this.
But Kelly, well, yeah, of course. But Kelly writes the Cozy Anime Corner for Crunchyroll every month, not to be confused with Nick's Rom-Com Corner, but they both coexist in the same universe. You cannot tell me any different. So, you won't want to miss her recommendations. That next.
Webster's dictionary. It is time to dim the lights. Maybe light a fire. Lighting a fire is like when I see light a fire, I'm like, run.
Yeah.
Maybe put on a book light or a Game Boy Color.
That's what I was gonna
light.
say. Can I bring my worm light from Game Boy Color and plug it up somewhere?
Get the fireplace all good and ready.
Right.
And safe.
Yeah.
And safe.
Get your robe. Your bear slippers.
Get
Safely
comfortable.
start a fire.
Safely.
Safely. Remember, stop, drop, and roll. Get comfy. Get cozy. So we're talking all things cozy anime. How's that ASMR voice? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep it.
Thanks. Our main story this week, cozy anime. How do we define it? How does it affect us? What is it? What qualifies? Let's start with the beginning. I figured we could come up with like 2 or 3 like words that define cozy anime.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say cozy because it's right there in the name. It's,
right.
It's a given.
It's the lowest of hanging fruit.
So I figure each of us can come up with one. So
Okay.
Kelly,
Low
take us
stakes
off.
is what I would say to start.
Well, that
No
is 2
saving the
words.
world. No big fights. Because for me, that kind of stresses me out a little bit. So not cozy.
Yeah.
Low stakes. Low stakes.
Low stakes. I like that.
Okay.
Lee.
Ooh. Satisfying, I think I'm gonna go with, because it's like, even if you just watch one episode, you're like, yeah, I'm good. And you don't have to like watch anymore unless you really want to.
Yeah. I'm going to go with
No pressure.
smooth.
Oh, yeah.
So we could be talking about the art style, the colors,
Yeah.
the direction,
Yeah.
the voice acting,
True.
the music,
Mm-hmm.
the premise.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth.
Mm.
I'm thinking about do it yourself.
Yeah. I know. I was like, he's going to say do it yourself. I know he is.
Okay. So, I have a story for this part. I'm sure you guys both do too, but how does cozy anime affect you? How does it make you feel?
Yeah.
And when do you typically turn to it?
I think for me, it's because I watch so much like shonen or shonen adjacent when it comes to anime, or if I'm like watching TV shows, they're very action heavy, or like there's a lot of like high value drama happening.
Yep.
Usually I'm like, I need to go watch something that is not gonna just like spike my anxiety, my adrenaline,
My blood
or
pressure.
blood pressure,
That's how I feel.
or like cause my synapses to just go absolutely insane. So that's usually when I go and watch something that's very like low barrier of entry.
Yeah.
Like, and it's usually something I've probably watched before because of that. And I usually like turn to that same one.
That's actually a good thing you bring up. Like, I'm sorry to go on a tangent here, but like, can a stressful show that was stressful the first time you watched it, like I think about something like Dragon Ball Z, which, right? Like has a lot of action, but there's nostalgia built into it.
Right.
Does that become a cozy anime after a certain period of time because it's comfortable for you?
It can. Yeah, absolutely. I think like, and Kelly, I definitely, want to make sure we have your perspective on this too. But I think a show, like, even if it's like for Leah, right? Like they love Attack on Titan.
Yep.
That could very much be cozy sector.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
But I totally see what you mean.
But it could be, right? For me, like, one that I'll call out is, I'm going to talk about Kuroko's basketball again. And probably because I'm such a fan of the sport, and because like you understanding the sport and understanding the anime, it's like, I don't have to like feel like I have to immerse myself to like relearn the rules of a world or whatever.
Yeah, you just like roll right into it.
Yeah, just roll right into it. It's like, oh, he's doing this or this is happening, right? So I think that's, to your point with Dragon Ball, it's like, I know Raditz and Goku is happening, or I know, Goku and Piccolo is happening. Like I know what's coming, so I can easily settle myself in, and
it
like
lowers the stakes in a certain way. Like
exactly.
at least for you personally,
Yeah.
which I think fits that definition. How about you, Kelly?
For me, it's pretty similar to what you're saying. I always think of it as a palate cleanser. So we'll watch Jujutsu Kaisen or Attack on Titan or something that's very like
heavy,
stressful, and then I'll turn on I think I was following up Jujutsu Kaisen with like My New Boss is Goofy every week, which is like two entirely different shows, but kind of would like always end on the coziest, nicest feeling to kind of like calm myself down and reset a little bit.
I agree.
But yeah, I see what you guys are saying about like comfort versus cozy. Like Rogue One, I know we're going to talk about Star Wars in a little bit. Rogue One is very stressful the first time you see it and very sad. But now that's my comfort movie. I put it on when I fly because I just like to have it on in the background. So yeah, I think they overlap, but they don't have to be. Your comfort show doesn't have to be your cozy show, which I think is nice.
I think a show that was one for me, like this season, like both like a comfort and a cozy show, like because Kelly, you brought up Jujutsu Kaisen.
Don't say Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
It was so stressful. But after that, I'm like, Fluffy Paradise was like, if you want to talk about a new show that is like super cozy vibes, like, is it an Isekai? Yeah. But
hit the button.
But the way that the world functions and the stuff that happens, it's just like, it's just like she just wants to like go pet animals and just like be in this world and make sure people aren't like fighting each other. Like that's it. Like I'm all about this. Like let's go pet a big god tiger for like 30 minutes. That's fine.
It's not dangerous at all.
It's not dangerous at all.
I think about like the times when I turn to cozy anime. I feel like when the real world gets really stressful.
Yeah.
I will usually turn. I mean, obviously rom-coms fit into that category. We don't need to go into the corner for it. We're not in the corner. We're in a different corner right now.
Yeah, we're in the cozy corner.
Yeah, rom-coms fit that pretty squarely. I put a show like Ranking of Kings in there for me, which does have stakes, but like that. Y'all know if you know me at all, you know I love Ranking of Kings. Yeah. I literally want to get a Boji tattoo.
Boji supremacy.
Just seeing that show, seeing a frame from that show, like
it gives you the
cools
fuzzies.
My anxiety. It lowers my heart rate.
I think it's because of like, and I think cozy anime can also depend on like how much of the character's point of view you kind of share, or like how you're seeing the world in relation to that character. And I think Ranking of Kings did that very well, where you were living the world through
the eyes of this boy,
the eyes of Boji. And because of that, you were sharing in a lot of the emotions that he was feeling. But when he was at the cooler moments, even when he was like in the midst of battle or whatever, and he's kind of learning who he is, it's like, okay, cool. Like you see him de-stressing, which means
disarming.
Also distressing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. When I think about classic stuff, I think about like early One Piece is very comfy.
Yeah, because
Digimon Adventure is very comfy.
It's just very like, and I would probably even say like, you said early Digimon. I think early Pokemon is kind of the same way, right? Because you're like...
some of those episodes are scary,
Some of those episodes are scary.
Island Giant Pokemon. Everything was Sabrina.
The giant Tentacruel, like what was happening?
It's kind of scary. The shipwreck.
Yeah, dude. What? But I think, but when I say that is because a lot of us, when we were watching the anime, we were also playing the games at the same time. And we were having this feeling of like, for a lot of us, and I know for me specifically, like it opened up my love for like RPGs because it's, in its structure it is.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's like, I'm also enjoying the show, but Sabrina's also very creepy. And I don't think they're coming out of this one alive.
Oh my gosh. So Kelly, I'm curious. So obviously you write about cozy anime on a monthly basis, but you're also, you watch a ton of stuff. You watch a lot of new stuff. I'm curious, what trends are you seeing in kind of this cozy anime space? Like, are there certain storylines or characters or themes that you feel like are common across newer cozy shows?
I think in Japan, they're kind of called more, instead of cozy shows, they're called healing anime. And I feel like that's kind of been a little more prevalent with like My New Boss is Goofy. The whole show is about, getting over a horrible boss and a horrible company, which you might sound familiar if you've seen Zom 100. So I think in Japan in particular, that's a more common theme, I think, is healing from putting up with harassment at work or, a horrible boss and things like that. So I think there's a lot of that more recently. there's also so much food in most of these, food and cooking. There's campfire cooking in another world, which is kind of like Delicious in Dungeon, but it's actually an isekai where he goes to another world, and instead of trying to like save the world or defeat a bad guy, he's he's just cooking monsters, which just feel like Delicious in Dungeon. Try campfire cooking in another world. So there's that Laid Back Camp, which I think is the peak cozy anime. I think Nick talked about this the other week or two on here. It's just like, if you want to know what cozy anime is, cozy healing anime, it's Laid Back Camp. So yeah, I think that I think there's a lot more. Again. I think there's a lot of great options. But yeah, I think a lot more like reaffirming your faith in humanity type shows are really kind of getting there, getting popular.
Oh, that brings to mind, I don't remember the name of the show, and I feel so bad.
Why do I feel like you're thinking about Super Cub?
No, not that one.
Okay.
It was the show.
That is on my list one day.
With the tree guardian that's...
Oh, Somali and the Forest Spirit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That one was sad.
It was sad,
but I had the best time watching it because of that. Not only was it like a cozy healing anime, but then he was also kind of on this journey to heal just in general. And I felt like that was it was peak for me. And I'm like, man, I saw it the other day, in my recommendations. I'm like, I already read this or I already watched this, but I'm like, maybe you're telling me I should watch it again.
Ooh, that's like another layer.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know what the viewers and listeners at home think are the best cozy anime out there.
Yes.
What is the epitome for you? I mean, we talked about Laid Back Camp. That's also mine. I think that is the number one greatest cozy anime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let us know if you drop a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars only.
Subscribe, comment. Let us know your cozy anime.
You can, if you drop it in the comments, we'll see it. Or if you're watching on YouTube or Crunchyroll, you can leave a comment. But I'm curious. I would love to circle back to this next week.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always curious to see what you guys are watching or reading. That is a cozy time for you.
Okay, so shifting gears, I want to make sure we have time to talk about something else I find incredibly cozy: dad jokes.
Nice.
I'm not a father.
Neither am I.
But I have a father.
Yeah, same.
I'm not either.
But I appreciate a good dad. But I appreciate a good dad joke.
Yes.
And Kelly, this book is full of phenomenal dad jokes. I had sent a couple of these to my best friend Joe, and not only he was like, I don't know whether to laugh hysterically or hate you right now.
That's
and I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm reading this, and it's one that I'm glad I flipped to this. Page 26, if you guys read this.
Please.
Why do Warriors of Mandalore leave their helmets on?
I don't know why.
It's Mandatorian.
My favorite is any of the ones that call out some of the more the lesser known characters to mainstream. The Dr. Afra one. I was like, this one's just for me.
I just passed that one. Have you met the rogue archaeologist, Dr. Afra? Her career is in ruins.
This is good. This is great. Really good.
This is great. So even if you're like, why are you guys talking about a joke about Star Wars dad books? They're dad jokes. Just roll with it. Get the book. You'll have a time. So first, where did the idea from this book come from? And where did the jokes come from?
Sort of a wild story. So I guess I'll start back when my daughter was in elementary school. I used to put a dad joke in her lunchbox every day to read to her friends at the lunch table. I wasn't writing the jokes. I was just grabbing them off, the internet and then handwriting it and throwing it in there. So I'd already had a brain full of these because I did that for most of elementary school. And so fast forward to lockdown during COVID, I was on Twitter like we all were, and everything was doom and gloom, and we were all doom scrolling. And I thought, I'm tired of seeing horrible things on my timeline. I'm going to tweet something stupid. And so being a Star Wars quote unquote expert, I turned a regular classic dad joke into a Star Wars dad joke.
Nice.
And so it wasn't like a hit or viral or anything like that, but it was just enough distraction to where I thought, I'll just do this every day for as long as I can. We'll see how it goes. So I told Star Wars dad jokes for like a year and a half every day.
Wow.
And people kept saying, "Oh, this would be a funny, this would be a funny book." And so I'd actually been saving all the jokes in a spreadsheet because I didn't want to double up because I'm a huge nerd.
Yeah.
And I ended up sending the spreadsheet to an editor because he had heard from Lucasfilm that it might be an interesting book. And so with the spreadsheet in hand, that was kind of my pitch, and it went from there. So kind of a wild story.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's actually really cool. I love the fact that you were on this crusade to tell a Star Wars dad joke for a year and a half, and it just turned into a book. That is phenomenal. There will definitely be multiple copies of this bought and given to people as gifts.
Yes.
Thank you.
Especially my friends that are dads.
Yep. And if you do not already follow Kelly on Twitter, you have to. It's a ride. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Peak content. Congratulations on the book.
Yeah, no, congratulations.
Thank you. And I do want to give a shout out to the illustrator, Johnny Sampson. I swear the pictures in this book are the funniest thing. Like, I cracked up so many times when I saw them for the first time.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. All right. You know what time it is?
It's recommendations time.
Oh, it's recommendations time, baby. Since we've already recommended a bunch of cozy anime, let's share our favorite cozy video games. First, though, we have a bunch of fan recommendations that we want to share.
Yes. So quick shout out to everyone who wrote us on Apple Podcasts, on Twitter, on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I love reading you guys' comments. It's awesome. So this one is at Booklens on YouTube. I listened to this episode on Spotify, but I had to come over here and comment that I'm watching the final season of Attack on Titan, episode 82 at the moment, and every single episode has me screaming into a pillow.
I'm going to text Leah like right after this and be like,
look, this one's for you.
The Attack on Titan agenda.
It continues. And then, what is it? Rob Zimbuea 3604 on YouTube. Old school shout out, been watching Gintama. That's a great one. And Tommy Heavenly 6 Prey still slaps. There you go.
We've got William2951 on Crunchyroll who said, I'm currently watching The Unwanted Undead Adventurer and loving it. Thumbs up emoji.
That's one of my favorite ones for the season, for the winter season too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't checked it out.
It's pretty good.
Is it Isekai?
No.
Oh,
it's a fantasy story.
Do not hit the Isekai button.
Do not hit the button.
Queen Bean 17 on Crunchyroll has said, I'm watching The Dangers in My Heart, which it's on my list because I know it's a rom-com.
Yep.
Inuyasha, classic. A Sign of Affection. 10 out of 10 no-note show.
Yep.
Gotta watch that.
10 out of 10. Just watch.
Undead Unluck and Blue Eye Samurai, which I know isn't anime, but it's supposed to be really good. I haven't checked it out yet.
Anime adjacent. Oh, this is a good one. Smallville 124510 on Crunchyroll. I'm watching Solo Leveling, Sasuke and Peeps, The Demon Prince of Momochi House, The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. What is that? Snack Basu?
Is it Basu or Basue?
Basue, I don't know.
Basu.
The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up the trash. The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. The Witch and the Beast. Brave Bang Bravern. Delusional Monthly Magazine. Metallic Rouge, and Shingoku Yoku.
I ran out of fingers.
What is your schedule?
Listen, this is me at the beginning of every season where I'm like, on Mal, I'm like, oh yeah, I got 18 shows I'm watching.
Yeah, same.
And then by the end, I'm like,
I'm watching 2.
Or on any list, it's like 6 episodes behind, 8 episodes behind, 9 episodes behind.
Yep.
And then our last one for this week is from @SlibTheSlime on Twitter. I've been watching Nichijou, My Ordinary Life.
Let's go.
Great show. First comes rock. What's it going to be? Rock, paper, scissors, and a 1, 2, 3.
So good. So good.
Another 10 out of 10 show.
10 out of 10.
Again, if you want to have your recommendations read on the show, you can write in on Twitter, Crunchyroll, YouTube, or our favorite, an exclusively 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Exclusively.
All right. Cozy gaming.
Video games. Let's do it.
So, Kelly, what have you brought for us this week?
I love indie cozy games, so these are probably some you haven't heard of. I am playing Minami Lane. It's like a little town sim management type thing, but it's like management light. So it's $5 on Steam. It's 5 missions. It's like a couple hours. You just build a little cute town and, tell people to go buy ramen and boba tea and go to the onsen. It's great. And
That's
Vanba,
awesome.
which is a cooking game. It's on Game Pass. That's a really fun one. But I'm also playing things like Dragon's Dogma 2 and,
Very cozy.
Infinite Wealth, yeah.
Arisen, there's a cooking simulator over here.
Super
My
cozy.
Arisen doesn't play cozy games.
Look, a ladder.
A ladder. I wonder if we can climb it.
Well
A
spotted.
chair. Can we sit in it?
Yeah.
I haven't played Dragon's Dogma 2 yet, but
It's
But
great.
one has enough jokes to carry.
that's
so,
true.
you know.
That's true.
Young Nicholas, what have you brought us this evening?
We talked about this before the show.
Yep.
I kind of had trouble coming up with this, which is crazy because I consider myself a bad gamer or I play most games on easy. I like to experience the story. So I went with a safe answer, which is any of the mainline Pokemon games.
Yeah, same.
Particularly when we're looking at the DS era. It's just a very Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, those games.
Yeah.
Just the music alone, I could turn the game on and just tape a rubber band to the stick on the 3DS and just listen to the music change as it goes. I'm sure there's an easier way to listen to the
There
soundtrack.
probably is. Especially now, I'm sure.
But I've been playing stuff that I consider cozy that other people may consider very stressful. So I'm playing a new game called Pepper Grinder.
Oh, how is it?
On the Switch. It's great.
Okay.
It's basically Drill Dozer, if you remember Drill Dozer from Game Freak, meets Celeste.
Oh, okay.
So it's very purpose-built platforming.
Okay.
So but you're weaving in and out of rock and stone with your drill and chaining stuff and very fun. I think it's $15.
Okay.
Great indie. And then Balatro, which is the poker deck building roguelike game.
Oh, you were telling me about this
Wow.
one. Yeah.
Which I actually, I stand by it. It is a cozy game.
Is
Some
it?
of the
Okay.
jokers can kind of stress you out. So the whole deal is you have a normal deck of cards.
Yeah.
And the element that changes things is there are buffs and debuffs for cards on each round, as well as joker cards. And the joker cards add new layers of gameplay. So it might be every card that ends, that's even gets times 10 multiplier. Something like that. But yeah, I'll stop talking about the my poker deck building roguelike.
Yeah.
Lee, what did you get this week?
I'm gonna echo you on the Pokemon thing, probably because I have such an attachment to it since I was a kid. The first console, one of the first consoles I owned was a Game Boy, and when Pokemon, when the Pokemon craze first started coming over, I had to be in immediately, and my parents obliged, and 30 some odd years later, here we are, still playing Pokemon and enjoying it.
I love that you're not being specific. You did 30 plus.
Yep.
You did 30 some odd years.
Yep.
I like that for you.
I think ultimate cozy for me is probably the Kirby series. I love platformers, and especially a platformer that is low barrier of entry, super low stress. I mean, depending on the Kirby game you're playing.
Yeah, it was Triple Deluxe and Robobot.
Triple Deluxe and Robobot get kind of
crazy.
But there's something to be said about just a game character that all you know about him is that he's a pink puff. He likes to eat food. He loves his friends. And if you mess with any of those, he is on it. He is on you, and he will
loves
chase
his
you.
enemies too.
Yeah, it's true, man.
He
He
hangs
loves
out
a
with
lot
Meta.
of these, bro.
Meta Knight will try and kill him and it'll be like, hey, what if you cool if they play as you for this one?
Yeah, he's like, I guess. You guess? I have cake. Okay.
All right.
I guess I'll do it. But it's there's something just innately comforting about a character like that, right? He's basically just like Nintendo John Wick, if you think about it.
I was going to say he's the only Omega level mutant in the Nintendo catalog.
He really is. And he's just like, you stole my cake. I'm going to chase you down. And then he's like, oh, okay, you know what? Oh, we just share. And it's like, dude, you were going to kill me 5 seconds ago.
I do have the power to throw you into a black hole inside my stomach. However, let's just share the cake.
Right. Let's just share the cake and we'll all be happy. It's just really cool and really comforting to see that games can still be made in a major genre, but still satisfy the itch of hey, I want to play this, but I don't want to be stressed out like I am when I play Mario. So
it's a good pick.
Yeah. What time is it?
It's mailbag time.
Woo! We still don't have a mail carrier yet, so we'll figure that out. But got a couple questions on the docket today. Let's see what you guys brought us, and we'll answer accordingly. Maybe.
I think we will.
This question comes from William 295 on Twitter.
Welcome back, William.
Welcome back. Thank you for your recommendations. What anime would you like to see turned into a video game, and what genre of video game would it be? Me, Campfire Cooking in Another World as a cooking RPG game. That is a very good choice. That is a very good choice. Wow.
All right, let's think.
I know mine, but it's kind of a twist on it, though.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, what I really want is a tabletop game based on the wrong way to use healing magic. I don't know if you guys have seen
that would be fantastic.
But I really like how the healers in that show use their magic. So that's immediately what I would want.
Okay.
I haven't seen the show. Is it like, do they use it for like offense too? Is that part of it?
They like push them. They push themselves really hard and constantly heal themselves so they can like fight. And it's awesome.
You jump off a cliff, buff yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
No fall damage.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go weird with this one. There's a million answers for this question.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go a Gretzko platformer.
Okay.
That has an anger-based mechanic.
Oh, that sounds fun.
To where like if you miss jumps
or like the more
an enemy hits you, you like aggro and you get angry, and then the music changes and the screaming starts and you start like barely think of it like the superstar in Mario.
Yeah, we start barely. Yeah,
but it's that.
Cool. I think I said this when I had Delicious in Dungeon as my recommendation, but I would love to have like a Delicious in Dungeon kind of like RPG cooking game, like they were saying with this one. Second question from Casual Otaku Roy from Twitter. Which anime character has the strongest superpower, good guy or bad guy?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that is loaded.
It's like with the power scaling of
that is
anime.
A loaded question.
It's by technicality, Kirby.
I was gonna say if we're following the same technicality, it would also be Rimuru. So it's just the puffball and the slime boy.
I mean, like, you know, part of you wants to say like Goku or Saitama, but I feel like they're contextually the most powerful.
Yep.
Goku definitely has more of a play there because we see him get stronger than the universe's most powerful beings throughout the series. I don't know. What do you think, Kelly?
I don't know. Maybe because we were talking about My Hero, my thoughts went back to Mario and how everybody underestimated him. But I don't know if he's the most powerful. Oh,
he definitely uses his quirk in a very like unusual way that makes him like super strong.
Yeah, I was gonna say like having the strongest superpower doesn't mean they're the most resilient. Yeah. So like Overhaul.
Yeah.
My Hero.
Yeah. He was scary.
Shigaraki.
Shigaraki.
Yeah. I feel like Gojo's an easy answer.
Oh yeah, Gojo's a layup.
Yeah, agreed. Well, cool. You guys let us know which anime character has the strongest superpower, good guy or bad guy. Let us know what anime you'd love to see turned into a game. Let us know your cozy recs.
Yes, all of the above.
Please.
I want to see what people's answers are for this week.
And if you want to ask a question on the show, you can drop it in the comments wherever you're watching or respond to the social post that comes out on Crunchyroll's Twitter every week.
Yeah.
But I think that about does us for this week.
I think that's it, man.
Kelly, thank you so much.
Yes, this is great.
For joining us on what I hope is your first appearance on the anime.
Right. Please come back. Everybody, Star Wars dad jokes in stores now. Go buy it. It's fantastic.
Kelly, anything else you want to plug or say?
I have another book at the end of 2 other books at the end of the month. There's a Marvel Studios character encyclopedia and a Return of the Jedi visual archive. Those are both.
Say less. I'm there. I am there. You don't have to sell me too hard.
April 23rd. So keep an eye out for those.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And of course, you can read Kelly's Cozy Anime Corner column on Crunchyroll News. Lots of alliteration there.
Yeah.
Every month on Crunchyroll News.
Yep.
So check it out. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Crunchyroll Presents The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Shara Morris, Alex Lawless, and Nick Friedman.
Ooh.
Yeah. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Patrick Emile edited and mixed this episode's audio. Tyler Lucas filmed and edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks, as always, to Tamika Balance Galassi. We will be back next week with more anime, of course. And there's nothing you can do about it.
We'll catch you on the next train stop. We'll stop for you. Just make sure you have your ticket.
We'll see you then.
Yeah. Later days.
Bye.